The Los Angeles Lakers are entering another season with enormous pressure on their shoulders, and much of that pressure revolves around the future of LeBron James. For over 2 decades, James has been one of the most dominant and influential players in NBA history, redefining the game with his skill, durability, and leadership. But now, at 40 years old, the question everyone keeps asking is simple: how much longer will he play, and more importantly, where will he play? Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. This summer has been filled with speculation. Rumors began circulating that James was considering forcing a trade, leaving Los Angeles in pursuit of a new challenge, or perhaps a final opportunity to chase a championship elsewhere. Those reports spread quickly, gaining traction across social media and sports talk shows. But almost as quickly as they surfaced, Rich Paul, James's longtime agent and trusted confidant, stepped in to deny them. Paul made it clear that James had not asked for a trade and had not indicated that he wanted out of Los Angeles. Still, the rumors never fully disappeared. In the NBA, where speculation often drives headlines, the future of a superstar is always under the microscope. Amid this uncertainty, ESPN insider Bobby Marks provided his own perspective on the situation. Speaking on NBA Today, Marks was firm in his belief that fans will see LeBron James on the court again next season. "I'm expecting LeBron, Steph, and KD to still be among the league's top 10 players a year from now." Marks said, "I fully expect LeBron to play next season. The only question is, where will that be?" That statement highlights the crux of the debate. Few doubt James's ability to continue competing at an elite level. The real question is whether his future lies with the Lakers or somewhere else. Marks noted that James does have the option to opt out of his current contract at the end of the season, which could allow him to test free agency and evaluate his options. To this point, James has not signaled a desire to leave Los Angeles, but the possibility remains open. Adding to the intrigue is James's reported frustration with the Lakers front office. For the first time in his career, James finds himself on a team that is no longer building exclusively around him. The organization has shifted its long-term strategy to focus on Luka Doncic, the young superstar acquired in a blockbuster move. While James and Doncic showed promising chemistry toward the end of last season, the dynamic has raised questions about whether James feels sidelined in the decision-making process. Throughout his career, from Cleveland to Miami to his first years in Los Angeles, James has always been at the center of organizational strategy. The shift has not gone unnoticed. Despite these concerns, the Lakers are adamant that they want James to remain in Los Angeles for the remainder of his career. For the franchise, losing LeBron James is not an option. Beyond what he contributes on the court, his presence elevates the brand, energizes the fan base, and ensures that the team remains at the center of the NBA spotlight. The Lakers are one of the league's most storied franchises, and having James retire in purple and gold would only add to that legacy. And the truth is, James continues to prove that he belongs among the elite. Last season, he earned second-team All-NBA honors, a clear indication that his production still ranks among the very best in the league. His numbers speak for themselves: 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists per game. He shot an efficient 51.3% from the field and 37.6% from beyond the arc. Those numbers are not the stats of a player on the decline, they are the numbers of a superstar still capable of carrying a team to victory. Even more importantly, James has shown that he can adapt his game. While he may not rely on sheer athleticism the way he did in his 20s, he continues to evolve, using his basketball IQ, passing vision, and experience to impact games in new ways. His ability to control the pace, create opportunities for teammates, and step up in critical moments remains unmatched. The partnership with Luka Doncic could prove to be the defining storyline of this upcoming season. At the end of last year, the two stars began to find a rhythm together, Doncic with his scoring ability and playmaking, and James with his leadership and versatility formed a duo that gave the Lakers new hope. With a full offseason to build chemistry and a coaching staff focused on maximizing their combined strengths, the expectation is that this partnership will only get stronger. If it does, the Lakers could once again position themselves as serious contenders in the Western Conference. Yet, the uncertainty remains. Will James ultimately decide that Los Angeles is still the right place for him, or will he seek one last chapter elsewhere? For now, the only certainty is that the eyes of the basketball world will remain fixed on LeBron James. His decisions have always reshaped the NBA landscape, and whatever he chooses to do next season will once again have a ripple effect across the league. For the Lakers, the mission is clear. Keep James in Los Angeles, compete for a championship, and prove that the franchise can still deliver on the biggest stage. For James, the challenge is equally clear. Continue defying time, extend his legendary career, and decide how the final chapters of his basketball journey will be written. One thing is undeniable: LeBron James is not finished yet. The Los Angeles Lakers entered Media Day with one of the biggest announcements of the offseason. Head coach Redick, who just completed his debut year on the sidelines, has signed a 2-year contract extension. Those additional years are stacked on top of the 3 seasons remaining on his original deal, securing Redick's presence with the franchise through the 2029-30 season. ESPN insider Shams Charania broke the financial details, confirming that the extension brings Redick's total earnings to $45 million over the duration of the contract. This commitment reflects the Lakers' broader strategy of building continuity in a league where coaching changes are often swift and unforgiving. The decision to extend Redick is not simply about rewarding short-term success. It's a signal that the front office, led by Rob Pelinka, wants to establish long-term stability. For a franchise that has undergone dramatic roster and leadership changes in recent years, locking in both Luka Doncic as the cornerstone player and Redick as the head coach represents a clear vision for the future. The timing of the extension is particularly notable. It is rare for a first-year head coach, especially one without any prior coaching experience at the professional level, to earn an extension so early. Redick himself acknowledged this reality when speaking to the media, explaining that he understands just how unusual it is for a rookie coach to secure that kind of commitment. His comments revealed both humility and an awareness of the magnitude of the opportunity. Redick's coaching debut came under challenging circumstances. Last offseason, the Lakers executed a blockbuster trade that reshaped the identity of the team. Anthony Davis was sent out in a high-profile deal that brought Luka Doncic to Los Angeles. With such a dramatic shift in personnel and expectations, Redick was immediately tasked with uniting a roster in transition and maximizing the impact of a new franchise player. The results exceeded many preseason predictions. The Lakers closed the year with a 50-32 record, finishing among the top 3 in the highly competitive Western Conference. At their best, the team demonstrated elite defensive execution and flashes of championship-caliber play. Redick's system emphasized spacing, discipline, and ball movement, and his willingness to adapt to Doncic's style quickly became a defining strength. The chemistry between coach and star became one of the biggest storylines of the season, fueling optimism about the franchise's direction. Still, the season was not without its shortcomings. The playoffs exposed the team's lack of depth in the front court, a weakness that ultimately derailed their run. Against the Minnesota Timberwolves, Los Angeles struggled to contain size and rebounding, leading to an early exit. Redick came under fire for his reluctance to utilize his bench more effectively, with critics suggesting that fresher legs could have altered the outcome of key games. This criticism underscores the steep learning curve Redick still faces as he transitions from former player and media analyst into a seasoned NBA coach. What stood out most, however, was how quickly Redick earned credibility. His background as a cerebral player was well established during his NBA career, and he later built a reputation as a sharp analyst across multiple media platforms. That intellectual approach carried over to the coaching role, where he displayed both tactical knowledge and communication skills that resonated with players. For a fan base that can be demanding and a media market as intense as Los Angeles, winning over both the locker room and the public was no small feat. Financially, the extension also places Redick in a secure position, joining the ranks of well-compensated head coaches across the league. The $45 million figure reflects the organization's confidence not only in what he has accomplished, but in what he could achieve in the years ahead. For the Lakers, it is an investment in leadership and stability at a moment when the team is reorienting its identity around Doncic and preparing for an eventual transition away from the LeBron James era. LeBron James remains under contract, but at 40 years old, questions about his future continue to hang over the franchise. The Lakers must simultaneously navigate the challenge of honoring James's ongoing contributions while preparing for the inevitable day when the league's all-time leading scorer decides to step away. In addition, the front office faces important decisions regarding the development and retention of key young players, including guard Austin Reeves, who has emerged as a crucial part of the rotation. Redick's extension, therefore, is more than a reward for a single season of success. It is part of a larger blueprint designed to stabilize the organization during a time of transition. The Lakers have often thrived in moments of bold reinvention, and this latest chapter is no exception. By pairing a superstar in Doncic with a promising young head coach, the franchise is betting on a new foundation that could define the next era of Los Angeles basketball. As the 2025-26 season approaches, the expectations will only grow. Redick has proven he can succeed in the regular season, but the true test will come in the postseason, where depth, adjustments, and experience matter most. With 5 years now guaranteed, he will have the time and authority to shape the roster, refine his coaching philosophy, and attempt to bring the Lakers back to championship contention. For a franchise defined by its pursuit of titles and its history of legendary figures, Redick's journey is only beginning. The extension guarantees stability, but it also raises the stakes. The Lakers have made their commitment. Now, it's up to Redick and his team to deliver on the promise of a new era in Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Lakers have taken another step in reshaping their roster ahead of training camp, officially signing guard Jaron Cumberland while parting ways with forward Arthur Kaluma. The move, first reported by Dan Woik of The Athletic and later confirmed by the team, reflects the Lakers' ongoing efforts to fine-tune their depth chart as they prepare for a new season. Cumberland's arrival comes at a pivotal time. Training camp begins on Tuesday, and with it, the competition for roster spots intensifies. For Cumberland, who has not played in an NBA game since 2021, this represents more than just another opportunity. It is a chance to re-establish himself in the league after spending several years proving his worth in the G League. The specifics of his deal have not yet been disclosed, but his presence adds intrigue to a Lakers team that continues to balance veteran leadership with emerging talent. The 28-year-old guard last appeared in the NBA with the Portland Trail Blazers, suiting up for 3 games during the 2021 season. His minutes were limited, averaging only 4 per contest, but he managed to contribute across the stat sheet with 0.7 points, 0.3 assists, and 1.0 rebounds per game. While the numbers are modest, his efficient 50% shooting in those brief appearances hinted at a player capable of making the most of limited opportunities. Since then, Cumberland has built a reputation in the G League, most recently with the Delaware Bluecoats, the affiliate of the Philadelphia 76ers. Over 38 games last season, he delivered a strong campaign, averaging 15.4 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. His perimeter shooting stood out as well, with a 42.6% mark from three-point range, making him a reliable offensive weapon. That performance is part of what caught the attention of the Lakers front office as they searched for versatile backcourt options. Cumberland's journey to this point has been anything but straightforward. Before turning professional, he was a standout at Cincinnati, where he spent 4 seasons from 2016 to 2020. In 133 games, he averaged 13.4 points, 3.6 rebounds, 3.1 assists, and 1.0 steals, logging nearly 28 minutes per game. His collegiate career showcased his scoring ability, his defensive instincts, and his resilience. Despite those credentials, he went undrafted in the 2020 NBA Draft, a moment that could have derailed his ambitions. Instead, he regrouped and was selected 12th overall in the 2021 G League Draft by the Rio Grande Valley Vipers, beginning a professional path defined by persistence and adaptability. For the Lakers, the decision to add Cumberland is as much about competition as it is about potential. Training camp is often where fringe players prove they belong, and Cumberland arrives with momentum from his G League success. The Lakers coaching staff, led by JJ Redick, will be watching closely to see if he can translate that production to the NBA level. His ability to stretch the floor, handle the ball, and create for others could make him a valuable depth piece in a guard rotation that will need flexibility throughout the season. In a corresponding move, the Lakers waived Arthur Kaluma, closing the door on what had been a promising opportunity for the young forward. Kaluma, who went undrafted in the 2025 NBA Draft, signed with Los Angeles as a free agent under an Exhibit 10 contract. His performance in Summer League earned him a 1-year, non-guaranteed minimum salary, giving him the chance to participate in training camp. However, with the addition of Cumberland, that opportunity has now slipped away. For Kaluma, the challenge will be finding another path into the league, either through a G League roster or by catching on with another team willing to take a chance on his potential. The timing of these roster adjustments underscores the urgency within the Lakers organization as they prepare for what promises to be a highly competitive season. With LeBron James entering his 40s and the franchise seeking to remain a contender in the Western Conference, every roster spot carries significance. Depth, versatility, and readiness to contribute will be key themes as the team evaluates its options heading into preseason. Cumberland's signing may not make headlines in the way a star acquisition would, but moves like this often shape the back end of a roster in critical ways. Players who seize their chances in camp and preseason can go on to become reliable contributors when injuries or rotations demand it. For Cumberland, this is the stage where he must show that his years of persistence in the G League have prepared him for the challenges of the NBA. The Lakers will begin their preseason slate on October 3rd, facing off against the Phoenix Suns, a divisional rival that will test their readiness early. That game and the subsequent preseason schedule will provide Cumberland with the platform to demonstrate his value. For the Lakers, it will be the first opportunity to see how their roster adjustments translate on the court as they aim to enter the regular season with clarity and momentum.